Hi guys, it's a Game in Mind here bringing another video, and in today's video I will be reviewing this new show on Netflix called The Cuphead Show. I would like to start out by saying that in this video I have no spoilers, just a couple small clips here and there about the show with some of the episodes behind it, but I'm not going to spoil anything when it comes to any of the parts throughout this review. It's just going to be a straightforward review. I will be talking about some episodes with some of my thoughts, but again, it's not going to be anything spoiler related that it's going to ruin your experience of watching it. But before getting into the video, I would like to just talk about what this show is all about. The show was based off a video game called Cuphead, and that game was released on 2017 on September 29th. Then later on this year, February 18th, and this TV show was actually developed by a guy named David Was son, and also the creators of Cuphead, Chad and Jared, were served as exclusive producers behind Dave. So pretty much what the plot of this show is about two brothers named Cuphead and Mugman, the cautious one within this show, who pretty much goes on like misadventures in each of the episodes. The show only currently has 12 episodes in the first season, and the runtime for each episode is about like 14 to 15 minutes long. After watching this show, I can say I was very pleased with what was shown in the first season, and I really hope for season 2 due to the potential that the show has, and I was very happy that I took my time to watch it. So let's get on to some positives of this show. I can say that it was very goofy in its own sense, and it had many different memes and references when it was relating to TV, the internet, and just movies in general that caught my eye. I'm going to go over some references that I saw within this TV show, the first 12 episodes. And the first one was from old school show called Betty Boop, when King Dice, which is one of the characters, came out and started to dance before the show started that he has to host. And he was dancing the same way as this character in Betty Boop named Minnie the Moocher. He did it the same way that Minnie did, that King Dice did. They both did it at the same time. Like, they did it exactly the same, but just a little twist to what King Dice did. So I thought that was very cool that they included that. This next reference was something that I didn't find on the internet, but I kind of made up. So I remember when Elder Kettle, that's the older Kettle that takes care of Cuphead and Mugman, pretty much was saying not to fight and wrestle around the house and to not break anything. Just popped in my mind when I was watching this episode when SpongeBob and Patrick were fighting in a ring. This may be just a small reference that I made, but that was like a connection that I kind of put when I first watched it. You guys might not think the same, but I thought, and I just wanted to include that because I saw a bunch of memes, a bunch of references, and throughout the internet, YouTube, movies, and TV shows that Cuphead definitely used within their show. So after the fight stopped, both the brothers pretty much were confused why they were fighting, just like how SpongeBob and Patrick in that one episode when SpongeBob and Patrick were fighting. Pretty much at the end, they were like, "Why are we fighting?" And they just kind of made up, just like how Cuphead and Mugman. Let's go on to the next reference that I saw within this show that caught my attention was when Cuphead and Mugman were running away from these ghosts within this graveyard, and they got into this building full of skeletons. So this pretty much had a reference to Walt Disney, the skeleton dance. I saw that these skeletons were doing the same thing in the show as it did in Walt Disney, and that was a reference that was very created by the creators. I found it was very amusing, and I was very happy that they included that from Walt Disney. So kudos to you. Some more positives that I would have to say is like the acting was executed to the T. Honestly, I feel like that they got the right actors and actresses for each of the role to really execute this show without steering in a wrong direction. I want to just give out one prop to one of the characters. I mean, of course, all the actors and actresses in this show did well, but the one that really comes to my mind was King Dice, which was the host for one of the shows within the show, which is funny, right? But the actor was named Wayne Brady, and he played the part very well. But he's a great actor just in general. And, you know, not just him, all the other actors were and actresses were well executed that were involved within this show. But that was definitely a positive that I saw with King Dice. I mean, he did a great part for King Dice himself. So shout out to Wayne Brady and also the other actors and actresses that were involved within this show. So that is the conclusion for the positives. Next, I want to go for negatives. But before I start on the more positives, when I saw this show compared to negatives, the positives definitely outweigh the negatives. But the one negative, in my opinion, was the runtime for it. What I said, it was about 14 to 15 minutes long for each of the episodes, which wasn't, you know, bad. That's a typical cartoon. I would have loved to see like more minutes within the episode, just in my opinion, like from 30 to 45 minutes. If I'm really into a show, I would love it to be longer, but I understand it's a cartoon. Cartoons usually run shorter, but that was just a negative that I just, you know, picked up within this show. Again, it's not a horrible negative, but I just wish it was a bit longer. So I hope maybe next season it's a little bit longer, but if that's how the episodes are going to be, I'm still going to enjoy it and watch it. The next one and the final negative that I kind of picked up, because it was very, what I said, in my opinion, was very hard to pick out a lot of negatives, and I wanted a straightforward review to give you guys, would have to be that it was very predictable. I feel like that there was this one episode that Cuphead Mugman involved in, and it was very predictable, I felt like, to the viewers. And I understand it's like a family friendly TV show cartoon, right? But it was when Cuphead lied to his brother Mugman. He fell off like this waterfall, and the goggles fell off his brother's head. So Cuphead like kind of lied to him and said no, they're still on, and he just didn't want to kill Mugman's confidence, because he knew throughout that episode he was very confident and brave to get through this adventure, because they had a mission that they had to execute. So I really thought that was a very predictable thing for this show. But again, it is a cartoon, but I thought it was a bit predictable with some of the episodes. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I mean, that's what happens with certain cartoons. I mean, you get older, you kind of break stuff down, and you just watch it and you're like, well, that was a bit predictable. You kind of figured that was going to happen. So those are some negative that I caught up on. My next thing I'm going to be doing before closing out is my rating of the show. So I would say that my rating after watching this show would have to be 8 out of 10, because of how they executed the show very well and in a great way, in my opinion. I personally think that they should come back with a season 2, because how great the show was overall. It was definitely very solid. With, you know, there are some minor negatives, but a lot of positives were out of the show. I don't think it was like one of the greatest animated shows out there, but it definitely was something that was released within the 5 years that definitely grabbed my attention, and I really enjoyed it. So kudos to, you know, the TV show itself, the Cuphead Show, and the creators who made this and developed this. So thank you for that. So that's my rating, about 8 out of 10. And I just hope that you guys, you know, enjoyed this video. Comment your thoughts about the show, what you thought about it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Feel free to comment down below. Subscribe if you do enjoy this video, because I could bring you more videos like this, if not any other reaction videos within this channel. And just let me know your thoughts about the show, as I said. And just make sure you turn on the notification bell, subscribe to more content if you enjoy my channel and what I do. And as always, stay frosty. Peace.